Hi everyone, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is week 11 of Adventures in Groceryland, the meal video. We had some really great meals this week. I'm looking forward to seeing them, and I'm particularly looking forward to showing off the special meal that we have been saving and sourcing ingredients for over the last 5 or 6 weeks. I encourage everyone who is new to the channel to go back and watch the previous weeks. They're pretty great, and they show what we've been able to accumulate pantry-wise over the last 11 weeks. And it's quite a lot of stuff. Bear with this week's video. I got a new phone, and there's definitely been a learning curve. I am having difficulty zooming out. I am having difficulty getting the videos to rotate properly the way that I want them to. So it's not terrible. The sound is really crisp and clear, no crackling like what the old phone did, but just bear with me for that. And one new thing that you're going to see at the end of this week, I had some feedback from the other half that sometimes it is confusing to know what we can eat out of the fridge and what we can't eat out of the fridge, because I had groceries and supplies prior to starting Adventures in Groceryland. And when we started the challenge, we started fresh. We started from scratch. So there's been some items that are still in there that they're just no eat items. So those will become available to us at the end of the week. I am going to start showing the leftover fridge items in the fridge. So you'll see that too. Thanks so much for watching.
Lunch today is just going to be some random leftovers from the fridge. This was a breakfast sandwich that I brought back home from Christmas morning. There was one left over. And olives, some veggies, clementine, a sweet there in the back. Quick lunch. The salad kit had the veggies in it, plus it had this little package in it full of seeds and dried cranberries, and this entire package full of poppy seed dressing. So I am going to not put them in with the salad. So I did add I used about half of the pack, and I put in here, I also added cucumber and mushrooms and green pepper and tomatoes, and then we can season to taste because I don't use salad dressing, and the other half doesn't eat seeds very often. So this was a good deal for 25 cents. Ham sandwiches and garden salad for supper. Poppy seed dressing on one. I am making a ham soup. In here is all the drippings from the ham, sweet potato, 1 regular potato, 3 carrots, onions, broccoli, the leftover of that salad kit that I got, which was cabbage and kale. My recipe calls for celery salt, but I didn't have any, but I did have celery. So I just put 1 little celery in there. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I put the leftover yellow beans and green beans in here, and the leftover tomato paste that was in the fridge. That was a good use for that. So I'm looking forward to the final product. This is the finished ham soup, and we are going to have this for supper tonight, and maybe for supper tomorrow night, and maybe for lunch for another day this week. This is night 2 of the ham soup. We've already each had a full bowl, and we have come back for seconds. It's pretty tasty soup. Tonight we are going to have a change and a break from soup, which we've had the ham soup 2 nights in a row. We are going to make some Oriental food. We are going to make a lo mein, We've made that a couple times before, and we are going to use the honey garlic sauce that we have left over. And we have all of this broccoli. So we got the idea to make not a beef and broccoli, but a pork and broccoli. We have the little pork strips that I cut up from one of the pork chops a couple weeks back, and we are going to use the smallest chicken breast to go in with the lo mein. We'll make rice, and we're going to have egg rolls on the side. So this is from my flash food box. This little teeny bit is from my flash food box. The flash food box. This is from the flash food box. This is left over from probably an old flash food box. We're going to use up some of the garlic that we have. This is from the current flash food box. So we are going to make enough that we can have for supper tonight and also for leftovers probably on Saturday. We steamed the broccoli a little bit before putting it in the stir fry. And here we have the finished product. We have honey garlic chicken lo mein. We have pork and broccoli. And we have rice and an egg roll. Cleaning up some more leftovers for lunch. Finally eaten up one of those last two bagels. Some cut vegetables, some olives, a clementine. I'm getting ready to make the chowder. Here are all of the ingredients: mussels, lobsters, scallops, clams, haddock, shrimp, cream, butter, and in it will go potato, onion, and a carrot. Here are the mussels, and see how they're all opening up nice and wide. That's what you want to see. And here is the haddock, the scallops, and the shrimp. And can't forget, you gotta have butter, real butter. Okay, and you have the clams, and you put them in, including the juices. The whole thing right in, and we've got two cans. It's starting to look good. This is the base before you put in the butter and the cream. Okay, so I've opened the can. I will say the lobster is 100% the most expensive ingredient in the chowder. And it's getting harder and harder to come by. So we have decided that we are going to use half of the can. And I have put half of the can in a freezer bag here and some of the juices as well. We are going to refreeze this, and we are going to use this for a second chowder, maybe in another couple of months. So I've got some butter here melting on top. You can see that this is pretty thick. And for anyone who hasn't made a chowder before, you don't have to buy the thickest of the thick cream. I bought blend, which was 10%. And just like you can thicken a chowder, just like how you thicken gravy, you can mix a little bit of flour with your cream and add it to the chowder, and it will thicken right up. A very economical way to thicken your chowder. This looks really good. Can't wait to eat it. The finished product. And for lunch today, we have leftover Oriental. We have the lo mein, the pork and broccoli, an egg roll, and rice. And we have leftovers enough for one meal for someone for lunch next week. And we already have enough chowder set aside for our supper for tonight. We are having squash pancakes for supper. Who knew back when I made these the first time that I would come to enjoy them so much. I'm making quite a mess, but I'm going to enjoy these once they're done. Okay, here we go. So there actually isn't much in the fridge that we can't have. Let's start with what we have left. So up here we have the sour cream, the yogurt, the fat that I collected, leftover dip, black olives, green olives, dill carrots, syrup, butter. And then we have some leftover squash pancakes. We have leftover squash, one bagel. We have bacon, eggs. Oh, that's the stuff that we're not allowed to have. We have in this one is cut vegetables. It is onions and some peppers and a little teeny part of the cucumber. We have 3 peppers. And this crisper, we have all of the vegetables. So spinach on the bottom, and then the mini tomatoes and mushrooms, more mushrooms, celery, tomato, the little bit of lettuce left. And in the back, you see some avocados, and the celery is sitting on the 1.5 bags of radishes that we have left. And in the very, very back, see it through the glass, is my bag full of condiments from like fast food and wherever. On this side, we have leftover clementine, some carrots, onions, cabbage, the broccoli. In the door, this is just water. We have blend, the leftover milk, pickles, the ketchup, the teriyaki sauce, soy sauce, mayo, cheese whiz, mustard, Dijon mustard, barbecue sauce, salsa. Up here we have some more jam. These are the butter wrappers. In the back here we have the seeds left over from that little salad kit. The leftover cheese still, and in the back is the leftover poppyseed dressing from the salad kit. Now, what we have not had access to is in this door here. It's just some random sauces, mostly for cooking. Some syrup in the background, and one little pack of crescent rolls. So that is, we haven't had access to this door, and we haven't had access to this little area back here. You can see there's a little bit of coleslaw dressing, some maraschino cherries. You know, I'm not sure how that would work into the meal, but I probably could have eaten 1 or 2. Some garlic, relish, lemon juice, a small amount left. I don't know how much is left, but I don't think too much. Well, of course you can't see. Not much. So you can see that already. Not much left in there. And in the back, bacon bits. So none of this stuff has been available to us. And upon feedback from the other half, that it was getting sometimes difficult to know what he could have and what he couldn't. And we're moving into our very low spend January. We're going to have access to everything that's in the fridge. It is just now available to us. Here is some leftover pizza buns. We haven't had any of the tortilla shells yet, and 2 buns left over. And also in the fridge that was unavailable to us were 2 parsnips and some turnips that have seen better days, and those are going to be available to us now as well. So we don't have to worry about anything in the fridge, or he doesn't. We can just have whatever is in there. Okay, the frozen stuff. I still have to haul this all out of the freezer because it is a drawer in the bottom of my fridge, and this, once the stuff is on top, you can't see what the stuff is on the bottom. So we still have a couple egg rolls left, some of the chicken strips, the half a pack of hot dogs. There is 4 risotto balls left, bear burger. This is meatballs, sausages, ground beef, more ground beef, 2 chicken breasts packaged separately, 2 boneless pork chops. This is the pizza pack. This is the half of that can of lobster. This is that veal flank. And this is a very large quantity of ham that I processed, and in that bag is just some fat from the ham, so that when it is time for me to make the baked beans, that I have ham to go with it. We just had a lot of food left over after Christmas, and even though I got the beans for this week's grocery shop, it just wasn't the right time for us to make another big meal with lots of leftovers. So perhaps you'll see that come next week. Then we have veggies, so corn, broccoli, those are unopened, half of the bag of stir-fry vegetables, more corn that I've processed, spinach. In here are the two, one is full and one is just enough to go in a gravy, that's broth. We have that cheap chicken that I bought and lean ground pork. This is the fajita pack. Black beans, kidney beans. Oh, these are some processed jalapenos from that big bag that I had. Leftover hash brown patties, the little teeny ones. A bag of chicken scraps. That's the big bag of scraps. In the back there, that is raspberries. That's processed fennel and mushrooms. Apples. This is the processed wet ingredients for Morning Glory muffins. This is the package of pasta sauce that I portioned out for another meal or lunches. This is beet greens. So quite a lot of items left. The freezer is less than what it was before. It's still pretty disorganized. Maybe I'll get to a point where we can show it just like we showed the fridge. Dry goods is still pretty full. We have Bisquick in the back, the fajita kit, goldfish crackers, 2 squash, all of the spices, dried cranberries. We have half of the beef and broccoli pack. We often use just a half a pack of an item and get 2 uses out of things. The spinach, we have Alfredo, mac and cheese, homestyle chicken stew in the back of the noodles. In the back here, oatmeal. The rice is all gone. We have a half of a package of nacho chips. And we have some crackers left. It says bars, but it's leftover crackers in there. And beef bouillon. In the back is still some olive oil left. Molasses, canned milk, peanut butter, diced tomatoes, pasta sauce, and here we have the dried green tomatoes. We have icing sugar, brown sugar. I can't remember what this is. Perhaps chili powder. That's terrible. I should have labeled it. On the bottom, we have flour, the spaghetti noodles, lasagna noodles. We have popcorn and split peas. We have Jacob's cattle beans down there. That is the rotini, macaroni. We have Rice Crisps left, the pumpkin. We have the flour, or the coarse sugar. We have more potatoes left. And we still have the bag of unopened potatoes that I got for $1, as well as the sweet potatoes that Shane, received for a Christmas gift.
Thanks so much for watching. Moving forward, so starting next week, week 12, we are moving into a very low spend January. I am going to be trying to purge some of the food that we've accumulated and make some creative meals just with the ingredients that we have. Lots of people do a no spend January or a low spend January, and it's just a good opportunity to take stock of what you have in your cupboards, what you have in your freezers, and use those ingredients to be creative and make meals. I look forward to sharing next week with you. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like the videos, I hope you subscribe.